Everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet. And how are you guys doing today? I hope you had a good week. We had kind of a quiet week here. Stayed very busy. Got lots of new things. Let me adjust this just a second here. Okay, that might be better. Um, yeah, we had a really good week, but I need to start with an apology to you guys. Last Friday, I had a blast with you, and we had so much fun, and people were so generous and towards the Shriners and all of that. And and then something magical happened in the evening. I checked my page to, interact with you guys, and I noticed that a second video was uploading, a second live video. Something it looked like something had gone wrong. It was appearing as a separate video, complete different entity from the live video that had been up for many hours. And so I did something very innocent. I thought, well, we don't need two copies of this, so I'm just going to get rid of this one that's rendering now. Well, lo and behold, um, it took the original with it. So somehow they were connected, even though it presented itself in a different way. So I will never do that again. I'll make other mistakes, I promise, but that one I won't do again. I just wish the software guys had, a soccer game or a baseball game or something else to do than to keep switching up our technology on us, especially on our, the analog generation like me. It just seems like as soon as I learn something and I get a little bit of confidence, boom, but anyway, that's done. But the good news is I am still going to make good on my promises. I still have the 4 leaflets that I am going to give away after the broadcast is over. I will announce these winners on Monday. And let me just be clear up front. In order to enter for these, once the program is over and the comments below the video, not the live comments on the side now, but the video comments below, um, become available, please, you can enter to win these, okay? And the other good news is to try to make up for my faux pas. I'm going to give away some things live today as well. So stay with me, and I'll be giving some of those away. And don't send me any numbers because I'm going to change it up on you guys today. You know my system, so um, it's going to be a little different. So let me go ahead and say hey to everybody. There are so many people. Thank you for being in the chat. And first of all, thank you, Hannah, my sweetheart daughter, for being our moderator and keeping us all, safe, keeping all the loonies away from our chat so that we are edified and not discouraged here. All right. Well, hey, Jake Parker, it's good to see you in the chat. And Robin from Cherry Valley. And Marie, my friend from Charleston, it's good to see you, friend, in there. And we're going to have to do another lunch sometime next time I switch out with Hannah, which will probably be sometime in February, maybe mid to late February. But we'll see where we are and, where the vaccine situation is at that point. And maybe we can do that. We have Charlotte in the chat. Hey, Charlotte, and Terry Redmond from California. And Brat's mom is there from sunny and cold Southwest Chicago suburbs. Brr, that makes me feel cold just thinking about it. And Michelle and Jan from Illinois. And she says it's cold but sunny there. And Beverly and see, Joni is in the chat, and Wanda Gordon. She says hello from sunny and chilly Bahama, North Carolina. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, I hope you are too, Wanda, and staying warm. And Joni says, hope that's an Afghan in the background. If you're talking about this one, this is actually a stole, Hannah's stole, which is already up on the site. Under that, yeah, there is an Afghan under there, and this one is coming very soon. I don't like to make promises I can't keep, but my goal is to get this up this week on the watch.bonniebaycrochet.com channel. This is not going to be on the YouTube channel. It's only going to be on my subscriber-based, the watch channel. So if you want to take a look at that, do. And just to let you know, the pattern will be complimentary to my folks over there on that channel. And I have some other good news to tell you about that. Let's see. Hannah just had a comment. Hold on a second. Uh, Emily Rose would like to know if the paint box yarn would be okay for the winter Afghan that'll be released soon. That's exactly what I used, Emily, was I used 19 scans of the 100% acrylic paint box yarn. So yeah, that's good stuff. I really have been impressed with the nice quality of that acrylic and the lack of knots that I usually get in some of the stuff that you can get in the big box stores. But you know, knots can happen anywhere. But there's just a lot fewer of them in the paint box yarn through my experience. But anyway, um, and Jan says, oh, say hi, Bonnie. Hope you're home with hubby. Um, yes, I am home with my sweetheart and my son Hudson. And Hannah is graciously caring for Grandma. And by the way, she's loving that. She's just got a heart that's just huge. And I know I'm embarrassing her right now, aren't I, Hannah? But she just loves to serve Grandma and to help care for her polio leg and whatever else she needs. And I think she's just got a special gift there. Let's see. We have Judy in the chat. She says, "Happy Friday, everyone, from Brazelton, Georgia, down in the South." And we have Margot from Indiana. And let's see, Beverly Smith wants to know, do I need to have some yarn prepared to crochet with? No, Beverly, the time here this hour is just kind of a community chat session. I got some fun things to show you guys that'll be coming to the channel soon. I'll be having some giveaways, and it's just a chance for us to hang out in a community. And I've just really been blown away by that. It's not just a YouTube channel. I mean, it's not just me. It's you guys. It's it's all of us together that makes this so much fun. Otherwise, it's just weird because I'm sitting here talking to my phone alone, and I don't want to go down the path of what that could look like to some. But just interacting with you guys today, and that's the purpose. But that's a great question, Beverly, because some people have been disappointed that I'm not teaching you a new crochet something or other. But if you're looking for videos like that, check out the more than 600 videos I have on my channel here. Or if you're looking for something that is spam free, commercial free, interruption free, check out my watch.bonniebaycrochet.com channel. We are really enjoying interacting with that. And let me go ahead and just tell you what we've done. My husband and I sat down today. I've been working on this all week. We added 6 designs. These are not new designs to my channel. So, they are also the same ones that are on the YouTube channel here. But again, I have added 6 of these and 5 of them with complementary patterns on my site. So if you do the math, just that little addition alone is far more than the monthly fee, which is about the price of a fast food meal. And it lasts a lot longer than that fast food meal, and it's probably a lot better for you. No calories, guys. Anyway, so I have added, with the help of my sweetheart, the long stocking fan hat rather. And again, for all of these I'm going to name, we have a right-handed video and a left-handed video because we don't want you lefties to have to work any harder than you have to. Certainly not any harder than I would want to work if I was watching something left-handed. We added the Easy Beginner 2-stitch dishcloth, the Easy Beginner tulip stitch baby blanket, the Easy Beginner shell baby blanket, the Easy Beginner rectangle granny square baby blanket, and the Easy Breezy ripple baby blanket. And again, those baby blankets all have complementary patterns. So when you go to the site, if you're a member there, go to the extras section. If you go look at the left column, and under there you'll see something that says extras. If you click on that, you'll be able to download any of those. Okay, Hannah has a question. Pat had a question. Pat, contact me. Okay, just email me, bonniebay@me.com, and my husband and I will help you get in or figure that one out. Okay, or maybe you just have to reset your password. I've had to do that a bunch of times on other sites. That may just be all that you need to do. But contact me, okay, through the bonniebae@me.com email, and we will get you all set up, okay? We'll get that taken care of as soon as we can. Let's see, who else do we have? We have, oh, Donna from Ottawa Valley, Ontario, Canada. She says it's chilly there today. I bet it is chilly. You're quite a bit north of me, and it's not warm here either. It's not bad as long as I stay inside. I hope you don't mind. The air just kicked in here. I've usually turned that off, but hopefully it's not disrupting the audio too much. We have Barbara Linhart, and oh, we have Lynn Geider. She says, greetings from Chicago. Praise the Lord and good morning, Sister Bonnie and everyone. Thank you, Lynn. It's so good to interact with you. You're always so encouraging to me and others online. We have Naomi. She says, aloha. It's another wonderful God-given morning here in Kansas. That's great. And Grace. She says it's sunny and 37 degrees in Northwest Washington. Ooh. I don't even know what the temperature is. I didn't check before we got started. I think it's like in the low 40s here. I don't think it's in the 30s, but I could be wrong. We have Brenda Young, Naomi, Angie's in the chat. Brenda Young from New Hampshire. And let's see. Esther, hey Esther, thank you for being there. Esther is another one of our moderators and a wonderfully fun sweetheart of a gal. And let's see, Tammy and Ann Owens. Thank you, Ann, that's very kind of you. And Archer Nace from snowy Cleveland. She says she's working on Hannah's stole. Yay, I hope you like that one. I like the texture. I love that yarn that I used. I'm just kind of sad that I understand that the Red Heart sheep, be careful how I say this, I understand it may be discontinued. So that's kind of sad to me because it's a pretty nice quality yarn that's available, has been pretty much available, in the big box stores, not having to, order it special or anything. We have Kathleen from Oklahoma, Ann Butler from Northwest Indiana. You have Swati. Hey, Swati, it's good to see you in the chat. She hopes from LA. Hope everyone is doing well. And let's see, we have Sandy. Everything just jumped again. I am so slow, but you guys know that. I just think it's so important to greet people. I need this as much as you do, probably, if not more. I don't ever get together with friends because we're, in that, I guess, except going to church where we're all super spaced and everybody's wearing a mask. But yeah, it's really hard, getting together. So my fellowship even is done via Zoom, which I am so looking forward to that being different in the future. But anyway, got to give thanks where I can. So anyway, I need this as much as you guys. So those of you who are waiting to see stuff, just hang with me a minute because this is important. You guys are important. Angie says, I like your cake. Thank you, Angie. This is Abigail's, it's called the Abigail scarf or shawl. And I got another version of it. Oh, right here, let me show you. This is a really fun shawl or a scarf because you can make it any size that you want just by continuing to repeat the patterns. This is in a really nice alpaca. Some of my fancy schmancy yarn that I picked up while I was traveling in Australia. I know that sounds so weird to say that, but here's another version, the same stitches, just different yarn, a little bit bigger. This is more of a tencel kind of a yarn, lots and lots of drape. I've also made this in a lace weight. Let's see, do I have that? Yeah, I don't have it nearby, but I've made this in a lace weight. You can make it using any size yarn, any size hook, and you just stop when you're done. You just stop when you're like, okay, I think that's the size I want it to be, or it may be more like, well, I just ran out of yarn, or I'm getting ready to run out of yarn, so let me do this last row. it's one of those patterns. You're in charge, and you get to make it as big as you want. And I basically had to stop on this one because I did run out of yarn a bit. That's why I had to stop it a little bit short, but it was still able to manage to do it, with what I had. So that's in my Lovecraft store. The video is not on my public channel, but again, it's on the Watch channel. And that's a part of the book back here, the Cable Crochet Made Easy. It's one of those um, patterns. And, with the book purchase, you also get all the videos to the projects. Yeah. So I hope I'm saying all that right. Um, yeah. So we have Jelena. She says, "Hello, Bonnie. I enjoy watching the chat every Friday. I look forward to it. Thanks." Well, thank you, Jelena. Thank you for being here. This wouldn't be any fun if there wasn't anybody to talk to. Oh, we have Suzanne Walker. Hey, Suzanne. I always think of you, and I see my sign in my room here. Back in touch from Central Illinois. Wishing you all safe and healthy crochet days ahead. Thank you very much. And I'm happy to say I think I'm finally done ripping out that one design. I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago, I posted a video of ripping something out. It took me like an hour and a half to rip this thing out. So you can imagine how many hours it took to crochet it. I don't know if I followed up with this story, but I actually did it again. I got halfway through the stole and realized that something is not right. Something is quite wrong. And since it's a video that I am teaching, it's a design that I'm teaching, I wanted to be sure to get it absolutely right. So I took 3 times, third time is the charm. And let me go ahead and show you my progress. I'm real excited. I'm hoping to finish this this coming week. And the pattern is already available in the Contemporary Celtic book. It's not available on my Lovecraft store because I don't own the rights to the pattern. It's owned by Penguin Publishing Company. But this is what I've been working on. This is going to be a sweater wrap, which is a long stole. Okay. And then on the back side, you can't really see it, but I am adding a section that's going to hang down here across your back. So when you wrap it around your shoulders, it keeps your back warm as well. And let me see. Let me get a book and show you what this looks like. Of course, the book would have to be all the way on the bottom. I'll tell you what. Let me just use this one. That'll be the easiest. I'll show you a picture of it. Now, the yarn that is in this book has been discontinued. This book was published in 2014. So this is a picture of the design, although you can't really see the back side, but back behind her is another panel that drapes down across the back. And it has these really fun pineapples to crochet on the edges. So I have to finish crocheting the back portion. And let's see if there's another picture. Nope, they didn't take many pictures of that one. But this is called Doolin Delight Sweater Wrap. And again, it's only in here. And I'll just show you again. And the yarn that I'm using is Barocco Vintage DK. It's a blend of wool and acrylic. And it's a really nice blend. And I really wish you could see just the coloring of this yarn because, the way wool picks up the dye is just beautiful. It's not really speckled, but it's just has a more of a rustic look to the yarn. And if you saw my video this past week on a new way to crochet the Celtic weave, I'm going to be coming out in a couple weeks with another video on 2 different ways to crochet the honeycomb. And let me tell you the mistake I was making. The mistake I was making was using front post treble crochets for both of these stitches, which is the way I commonly crochet them, and 95% of my patterns use front post treble crochets. Well, for this particular design, I used front post double crochets, both for the Celtic weave and for the honeycomb stitch. And so that was the mistake I kept making over and over again. And all I needed to do was just slow down and read my pattern that I wrote. I guess I wrote this about 9 years ago. So it's been a long time since I revisited that. So I'm just giving you a heads up if you decide to work on this project. And again, the videos, I'm hoping to release them the second week in February. So if you're looking for the yarn or checking to see what you have in your stash, that may give you some time. Um, Let me tell you the yardage. I guess that would be helpful. I don't know it off the top of my head. I wish I could memorize all this stuff, but I just don't have it in me anymore. Okay, I have to do some math. 330 times 8. Hold on a second. Let me get my calculator. 330 times 8. Okay, you're going to need approximately 2,640 yards of your favorite DK weight yarn. Again, I originally, in case some of you have this in your stash, I originally used the Caron Simply Soft Light, which surprisingly was one of my favorite yarns. I am not a fan of the regular DK weight Caron Simply Soft because it tends to pill a lot. But the Simply Soft Light, that's a DK weight that they came out with years ago, was very different. It had a beautiful sheen to it and a very different feel. And it was really, really nice yarn. I've used that on baby blankets and everything. It's like the Hialeah Honey Baby Blanket. I use that yarn. I mean, it's just super drapey, but the yarn's not available anymore. But if you have like 8 scans of that in your stash from the past, by all means, bring them out because that would work fine. But honestly, I really am liking this other yarn better. Of course, it's more expensive, but still, the Barocco DK, Vintage DK is kind of a moderately priced yarn. If you're looking to try something maybe non-acrylic for the first time, I mean, this is part acrylic, but part wool. It's a really good washable, easy care variation, and it won't break the bank. I don't think it will. So anyhow, giving you guys all the previews early here. Let's go ahead and do a giveaway. I'm going to give one of these away. This is caps, cowls, and mitts. In case you've ever seen this, it's a kind of a trifecta, a hat, matching cowl, matching mitts. We have 3 sets in this leaflet. And let's see. Yeah, this one has 4-post cables. And yeah. Okay. And this one has the braided cable. So let's see. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask, don't post any numbers yet because I'm using a different range today. If you would post a number between 30 and 60. I have pre-selected numbers just so that you know. Okay, so go ahead and go. The first time I see this number appear, I will say stop. And if you're from outside, okay, we've got a winner. Okay, we've got a winner. Let me make sure it's the first one that appeared. Oh, that was fast. Brenda Young, you are our winner. So Brenda, what you need to do, congratulations, which I'm going to go ahead and write your name down here so I don't forget. Okay, so send me an email, bonniebay@me.com, and I'll get this in the mail to you. What I was going to say is if you are from outside the U.S., and you become one of our winners, I can send you a PDF. I'm sorry, I'm not able to afford, mailing worldwide, but oftentimes it's, 2 to 4 times what the value is of what I'm actually sending you. So, so Brenda Young, if you can send me an email, and then all I need is your mailing address, and just to let you guys know, when you send me things like this on these particular things, I don't save your name and all that information. I don't have a spam list. I don't sell my subscriber list to anybody, period. I know I can make money that way. And people contact me a lot asking for my subscriber list. And I just hit that delete button. Bloop, bye-bye. Because this is the community, like I said, and I feel like we have a bridge of trust, and I don't want to stress that bridge of trust one iota. I want to keep it getting stronger and stronger. Um, so we got that one to Brenda. I'm going to put this over here so it's out of the way. And let me continue on. I just want to say hey to some more of you folks here. I may not get to all the comments, but I had this. I have to read this one. Archer Nace, you've piqued my interest there. She said, "I am a sheer genius." Did you hear that, Hannah? Says, "Don't let your head swell, but I am doing only your patterns anymore. I'm challenged by you, and it's so exciting to see the pattern when I do it right." Wow. Well, I am humbled, my friend. That is so sweet of you. But please don't, check out other patterns too. I mean, wow. But thank you. That is so kind of you. Um, it's kind of actually that's kind of what I did back in the 70s though actually. Um when I found the designer, I've talked to you about her before, Annie Ogue. She's has passed away. She's no longer on this earth at least, but she did many patterns in the late 70s, early, like around 1980, I think was the last publication that I got from her. And there were only a few that were put out there, but I have mine and had to rebind them because I completely wore them out. I just made her patterns so many times. And um, I used a lot of her stitches in my work, and I've added my own to what she's already done as well, because it's just so beautiful and it just didn't seem to go anywhere. She published these things and then it just never took off. And they didn't have YouTube and all the social media back then. So that's probably part of it. Um, and they were, some of those stitches, they're little stinkers, they're hard until you understand how to do it. And, I know the Celtic weave, that some of the stitches that I showed you in here, these, and let me stress something about this Duel and Delight. This is not a beginner's project. I mean, I have many easy beginner projects on my channel. I'm all for doing that as much as possible, but this is not it. If you're a brand new to crochet, and you want a challenge, I've got challenges, but this might actually send you off the cliff, and I don't want to do that to anybody. This is for people who are comfortable with a lot of the cabling. And Archer Nace, maybe you can try this one. I think you'll really like it if you do. But anyway, but I am humbled. Thank you so much for your comment. That made my day. But I just want to encourage you to, check out Jennifer Ryan's channel. If you're looking for a challenge, she does Celtic knot crochet, and where she weaves these things into special knots and then crochets them into garments and things. I mean, if you want a challenge, check out her channel. And tell her Bonnie said hey. She's a sweet friend. I correspond with her a lot. Okay, well, let's see what else we have here. We have Patsy Weiss. She says, "Nice to know I'm not the only one who has to frog over and over." No, you're not. Ugh. And I guess Swati, I guess, are you asking for this color? You know what? I would have to, I'd have to find a label. I don't have a label near me, do I? Hold on a second. I had a scan of this right here on my table. It's right behind my computer. Ta-da. Ay, ay, ay. We creatives, you never know where we're going to find stuff. God forbid we clean up anything and then not find a thing afterwards. Okay. Let me see what color this is. It is a machine washable blend. Made in Peru. Okay, I can give you a color number. How's that? It's color number 21190. Okay, Swati, 21190 is the color number. So if you look that up on Barocco, I'm not sure why the yarn companies sometimes they'll have number codes, which are probably the best thing to go by, but a lot of times they'll give them names online that aren't necessarily printed on the label. So I hope that code helps you. I'm amazed that I found that on my table. Okay, Diva Song. Hey, she says something about, I think I sell. Okay, yeah, I do have Diva Song. If you're looking for books, I sell a lot of my patterns in my Lovecraft store, but if you're looking for books, And I do sign them when they go out the door. So if you're looking for a gift for somebody, you want to sign it to a certain person, just let me know in the notes section. But I do this on in my Etsy store, Etsy. Some people say Etsy, some people say Etsy. So whichever one I use in conversation, I'm usually corrected. It's kind of funny, but so I have that store, the video links in the video description below, and I do have all my books there. Currently, the Celtic Cable Crochet ships for free, and so does Celtic Cable Crochet, which is another similar book there. And I have like maybe 3 others. We are absolutely sold out now of the Aran Afghans. Thank you guys. Last week, after our live, the last absolute copy sold. Okay, so Swati says the color's called, is it cerulean? Am I saying that right? I'm always afraid of my pronunciation. It's always kind of wacko. Yeah, it's a nice color, Swati. It's funny because it's showing up more blue in the videos. I may have to do some color adjusting if I can, but it's definitely more of an aqua, and it has kind of like, I don't know, like dark flecks of color in it. It's kind of cool. That's why it's really nice if you can, when picking out yarn like this, instead of looking online. I mean, if you know the color you want to get online, that's fine. A lot of times it's no problem. But if you go to the store and touch it and feel it, and if you're really not sure of the color, take it to a window, take it to natural light, because sometimes the lighting in the stores can be not very good, or just be this ugly fluorescent kind of coloring. What's this? Okay, the shawl behind me. Oh, this shawl. Ah, Beverly wants to know how long it took me to make this shawl. I'm not sure. If I sat down and just crocheted it and I wasn't designing it, which sometimes designing means ripping out and redoing, I mean, I could probably knock it out in a week, or, in the evening, working a couple hours a day. Could probably do it, I'm guessing 20 hours. But I tend to crochet on the faster side, and since it's my pattern and I'm not having to read and understand what somebody else is doing, that kind of saves me time. But it might take you a little longer just in understanding what's going on, just because you have to try to decipher my communication, if that makes sense. um, I think so. It really depends on your crochet speed. um, I've done an Afghan in a week before, but I don't recommend that. I think I almost hurt myself with repetitive motion injury doing that. And Beverly wants to know, how much is the book? Let me check. Hold on a second. And I only ship in the US, guys. I'm so sorry, because it's just so expensive out there. It's hard to, I wish that wasn't a thing, but it is. Okay, I'm trying to look at my store here just to make sure I give you correct information. Okay, it's currently, I have it for $24.95, and then you have tax on top of that, depending on what state you're from. So it is full price, but it's also free shipping. But if you are, you may be able to get it for less on Amazon if you're an Amazon Prime member, because they're able to do it without shipping. I actually have to buy the envelopes and the stamps. I don't, I'm not a mass mailer, so I don't get that perk. So when I'm charging, extra, well, actually it's free postage. Yeah, okay. So it's free postage on this one. What was I saying? Yeah, but I do have that again. It's $24.95 plus tax, free shipping in the US. So yeah, and, let's see. And Joni wants to know where she can purchase the noggin and neck. You can check Amazon, and these should all be available at leisurearts.com. I'll put it in the chat here down below, Joni. I'll just put it there. Thank you guys for your sweet comments. We have Donna and Lisa Pittman. And Yeah, and Swati wants to know how many scans. I think you're going to have to do the math, Swati. So it's whatever 330 times 8 divided by, I think it's, wait a minute. Let's see, it's 200. I'll tell you how many, there are 290 yards in the scan of this DK weight yarn. So you're probably going to need about 9 to 10 is my guess. So probably more like 9, but I'm just doing the math quickly in my head. It's probably going to be more like 10. So I hope that's helpful. I am way behind here. I may have to skip over some comments, guys. I'm sorry about that. Um, Pat Dancer says, I got your self-striping projects book and plan to make every pattern. I'll be 90 years old by then. Pat, you sound like me. I mentioned before, I'm going to live to be 300 because I've got at least that much on my to-do list right now, my idea list. So scientists out there, Swati, do what you need to do, work on vaccines, whatever medicine or vitamins you need to get us, ladies. We need to live a long time, okay? We've got a lot to do. Um, how good to know that God has this, you know? He knows what we need to do. I joke about this, though. It's kind of fun to think about it. Let's see. Yeah, 2,000. Okay, let's go ahead. Jan reiterated 2,640 yards. Let's see what that comes out to. 2,640 yards divided by 290. This is how we figure out how many scans we need. 9.1, so you're going to need 10. I was good on my guessing. How about that? Shazam. Uh, thank you, Jean. She has a sweet comment there. Thank you so much for your kind words. And Cynthia says, I guess I'm going to need that book. Sorry, Cynthia. I'm really not trying to manipulate you guys into buy. I really am not. I mean, if you want to, that's great. But you may be able to do that. Can you please put your... Okay, let me go ahead and put my... Hannah wants me to put my... Do you notice I can't type and talk at the same time? I just put my email in the chat, but it's also in the video description below that. For you guys who are our winners are going to need that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and, speaking of which, let's go ahead and give another one of these away. I'm going to give another caps, cows, and mitts, and these are all made using big box yarn, you know, that you find at Michael's, Walmart, wherever, and they're all made using worsted weight number 4 yarn. And yeah, so let's go ahead. I want you to pick a number between 30 and 60 again, and I have the number written down. Ready, set, okay, go. This is a new set of numbers, guys. We got a winner. We got a winner. We got a winner. Let me check to make sure it's the first number that I see like that coming in. You guys are fast. Sandra Ficara, you are our winner. So if you could send me an email at the address I posted, bonniebay@me.com. And once I'm done with the chat and after I get my lunch, I'll get in touch with you about how to mail this out to you. Hopefully you're in the US. And if you're not in the US, I will send you a PDF of some other things, okay? I'll give you a choice of some patterns from my Lovecraft store. Okay. I think that's what we'll do. If you are outside the US, you can pick 2 patterns from my Lovecraft store, any of my patterns, okay? And then I will email them to you. And that will be your a reward, I guess. Let me go back and catch some of these other comments. Okay, Amy Jo had a question. Let me see where that is. Yeah, Joanne says she found the noggins and neck from Hobby Lobby online. You know, they have some of these on Walmart.com as well. I think most of my books are at Walmart.com.
How weird is that? By the way, they have everything at Walmart.com. If you guys are tired of Amazon, I don't know why I said that, but in fact, the lighting kit that I use in my studio, you know, they don't have anything like this in the stores, but on Walmart.com, they have the limo studio, boom lights and everything, and they've been great. And I tease my kids all the time. I have some kids who are filmmakers. They, in fact, my son-in-law is working on a program that you guys would know. I can't really say though. And they started filming season 4 yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? But anyway, they kind of laugh at me because I use economically priced items. But hey, the lighting works, right? It's just lights, it's light bulbs in electrical sockets. And these happen to come from Walmart and they cost about a tenth of what they would have me get. So, anyway, once you learn to live on a shoestring budget, you kind of don't get over that. Okay, Ricardo would like to know, Hannah sent me a, would like to know if I do amigurumi. I do not, Ricardo. I'm sorry. I mean, I did make this doll when I was like 10 years old. And this other doll I bought from a friend at a craft store. I mean, at a craft show where I was attending and selling my crochet. And we actually made an exchange. She liked something that I had, and I loved the dolls that she had. So I got that. And I just I just wanted to add that to my backdrop. I don't have any videos for those either, but I do think those are beautiful expressions. And one reason that I don't do is because there are so many other makers out there doing and knocking that ball out of the park. They're doing such a bang up, wonderful job. I don't even want to try to compete with them. Um, and there's even a gal I met at the CGOA conference. I can't remember her name, but she makes African American dolls. It's not the maker who made this one, but she does a different style, and I can't remember her name. But she does beautiful work, and she does them on purpose to help encourage, you know, young girls who look different. And I just think that's really cool. And she does beautiful work. Um, and yeah, so all that to say, no, I'm sorry, I don't do things like that. Just because I feel like there's so many other much more gifted creators out there doing that. Um, all right, so let's see. Phew, um, okay, Brat's mom wants to know the name of the shawl I'm wearing. It's Abigail shawl or scarf, and that is on the watch.bonniebaycrochet.com site. It's also, like I said, in the Cable Crochet Made Easy book, and it's also available as a single pattern in my Lovecraft store. So if that's something that you're interested in, but it's a nice, reasonably easy repeat. It does have the Celtic weave in it, so just beware. But it's a lot of fun to work up. And we have, see, Ricardo says, hi, I'm from South Africa and I love to crochet. Crochet is life. Absolutely, Ricardo. Well, you are welcome. Welcome here. So glad that you could post in the chat today. I've got some sweet, dear friends from South Africa, and I've got some yarn from South Africa, a company called Nurturing Fibers, if you ever get a chance to check it out. And I have a friend, there's the yarn, is it the yarn store? I think it's something like that. There's in Pretoria. A friend of mine has a yarn shop, and if you get a chance to go visit her, tell her Bonnie said, hey, she has some great stuff. She has lots of the nurturing fibers, a lot of the bamboo and cotton fusion kind of yarn that's processed right there in your wonderful country. Um, Swati says, sorry, I'm an engineer for the Department of Defense, not in the vaccine world, although I have a lot of friends who are. Sorry, Swati, I didn't realize that. I knew you're one of those smart cookies out there. I'll just have to talk to my husband and tell him what he needs to do, because he knows all the people at the National Institutes of Health, so maybe he can kick them into gear, find the fountain of youth for those of us who have a lot of things to crochet. Um, we have, see, Carmen Chavez has a question. Working on the border of the Aaron Heart throw. Just beautiful. Well, excellent, Carmen. That's one of my oldies. That was one of the first patterns that I sold to Red Heart Yarns back in 2011. So it's 10 years ago. Wow. Um, Thank you, Swati. I'm catching up with the old comments. She already did the math. So yeah, so you definitely want to get 10. You don't want to play yarn chicken, not with this one, and not in trying to match wool. Uh, Hannah, I'm not sure which pattern you're looking for. Amy Jo has a question about a pattern, if it's mine or not. Um, yeah, thank you for telling. Yeah, you can definitely email me, and I can try to get to you later. Um, Oh, well, Kathleen, I see Kathleen Champ has been in and out of the hospital. Kathleen, I hope you are doing better, my friend. I must have missed a comment somewhere up here. Okay, here we go. I'm doing so much better, thank you. I've actually been in and out of the hospital twice, had big surgery, finally mobile, and my brain is connected to my body again for the most part. Oh my goodness. I think you've been on my prayer list too, Kathleen. So I'm glad you're doing better. Thank you. I hope you're recovering well at home and staying away from that COVID virus thing. Let's hope it stays away from you. We have Wanda in our chat. Hey, Wanda. Hope you're doing well. Staying healthy out there on the road, my friend. Hope those roads stay clear for you. Um, let's see. Um, okay, so do. Going by all the numbers, all the numbers, all the numbers. Okay, I am almost caught up. Then a bunch of things just loaded here. Well, let's see, what time is it? 12:46. Okay. You guys are so encouraging. Look at that. Congratulating our winners. Um, let's see. Kathleen says, I cannot help myself. There's got to be crochet, knitting, sewing, and crafts in heaven. Lord knows the drive we have, he'd never just cut us off like that. I believe there will be. I don't believe heaven's a place to sit around and eat chips and strum on harps at all. I think it's going to be a place where we labor, but it's going to be a good, you know, it's going to be a good labor of love, sin free, no bad attitudes. It's going to be amazing. And God's the creator, and from what the scientists tell us, the universe is still growing and he's still creating out there. I believe we're going to have plenty to do. And I used to, when I was younger, I used to think I can't wait to see the kind of flute I'm going to get to play in heaven, because it's going to be a lot better than the ones I've ever had here on earth, I'm sure. Although the one I have now is pretty sweet. I can't complain about it. I just need to practice. But yeah, I believe there's going to be a lot of good creating, Kathleen. What's really cool too, I'm talking to somebody this week, and through a chat, and I don't think that they realize that even the scriptures talk about um, a lot about yarn, fine linen, and wool, and silk, and things like that. And if you look up in the Old Testament in the Pentateuch, where it's talking about the building of the tabernacle, which was kind of like the fancy transportable tent that the Israelites carried with them, and the Israelites that housed the Ark of the Covenant. Um, there are very specific patterns that God gives for fiber work, and it's even back then it was laced with gold and fine precious metals and jewels. So I think, yeah, Kathleen, yes, there's going to be some serious crafting going on in heaven. It's going to be amazing. Better start practicing right now, right? Um, let's see. Alice Cortland says, I like my local yarn stores, maybe more expensive, but can be touchy feely. Yeah. Alice, I think, yeah, the yarn stores, the local yarn stores, the places where you can get the higher end yarns, they are really gifts to us. And I know it's definitely more expensive to shop in these places, but you also have to keep in mind that the store owners have a lot of overhead just to pay rent. I mean, just to have faith to open one of those stores just to pay the rent would, that keeps me from doing it personally. But I try to support them where I and when I can. Um, and then it's like the one place where you can go in and touch and feel and look at the color and am I going to, like working with this? And a lot of these places, they have yarn support. um, I try to give some yarn support online, and the videos are great, but it's nothing like being right next to a friend, side by side, learning how to do something and having mistakes that you're making corrected, and taking yarn classes from experts in store. So definitely make use of that resource and support them, because that also is building community within the fiber arts, and just community for real life living. I mean, there are some places are not so much like that, but some are really great for that. um, and definitely check them out. There's one near me if you are in the Maryland area. It's in just near Olney, in a place called Sandy Spring off of 108. And the store is called So Original. It's a wonderful store. And I would dare say that you are not going to find a more knowledgeable person there anywhere than you would at this store. Okay, Hannah just sent me a message. Jan would like to know, what was the name of the fiber book you received for Christmas? Let me go grab that. Hold on a second. Okay, didn't mean to be rude, stepping away. But I was just reading it yesterday morning at the breakfast table. This is the book. Okay. The Knitter's Book of Yarn. Had to pardon the title, but anyway, just kidding. It's an older book. So some of the branding information on some of the yarns, because I looked up some of the yarns that she recommended, and I'm like, oh darn, they're discontinued. But that happens a lot with yarns. They come and go, unfortunately. But this is by Clara Parks, and I believe you can get it on Amazon. Um, so yeah, I am learning a lot. I mean, this is like deep sea diving knowledge about yarn. They even talk about, how the yarn is harvested. And like, for example, the mohair comes from the underbelly of a goat, of a mohair goat. They used to live in, I can't remember, um, one region, but they most of it comes from China now, because that's where they have the animals. And the way that it's harvested, sometimes it might be like shaved, like they would do shear a sheep. But the better yarn is actually just combed, like when you're combing your like long haired cat and you get all that hair in the brush. The best is combed. Just by general grooming is how they acquire the higher quality. I'm talking cashmere. I'm sorry. The cashmere is what I was reading about. So a lot of that is from the underbelly of a goat, and of a particular type. And it's pretty fascinating, and just how you want to be careful when you get cashmere that it doesn't have a lot of the outer coat hairs, which are very different from cashmere, and they like poke out and so forth. So there's different types of cashmere. There's really high end good cashmere, and there's junk cashmere. And you have to be careful when you buy some yarn, because they may claim, oh, it's 5% cashmere, which is almost nothing. So sometimes people just put that cashmere word onto some yarns, just to try to bump up the price. But that's where the author says, and I agree 100%, is let your fingers do the talking, let your fingers do the checking. And that's how you can tell, is this something I want to crochet with or not? Just because something, let's say, for example, alpaca yarn, there are different types of alpaca yarn, and depending on the age of the animal from whence it comes, it can be super soft, or it can actually be a little coarse. So it really depends on how it's processed, where it came from. um, there's so many variables when it comes to uh, natural fibers. And I'm just not even scratching the surface of this book. And I've got a feeling that this book probably just maybe scratches the surface a little bit on the whole gamut of this. So I'm looking forward to learning more about the manufacture of the yarn and how it's processed. And, it's like swimming in the deep end of the pool, as they say. So anyway, let's see, we've given 2 books away. Let me see, is it time for another one? Okay, what's this? My YouTube is behind. Okay, Cynthia says my YouTube is behind, so I see the giveaway after the people are congratulated. That seems to be the problem. If you just tuned into this, I guess you're not going to know this, but if you tune into a live, you can probably move that red dot, the progress bar of the video all the way. But if people are just tuning in now, they're not going to know that. So they're not going to hear me say that. But anyway. Judy wants to know if amigurumi is hard to do. It's not, I don't think it's that hard to do so much as long as you like reading instructions. A lot of the amigurumi is mostly single crochet and yarn color changes, but it's a lot. It's like line by line, row by row, reading something new all along. And it does involve some like embroidery to make the faces and things like that. So it's a lot of color change. It's a lot of tedious kind of crochet. If you are a beginner and you just want to get your stitches even, I would probably encourage you to do like maybe blankets or scarves or something like that. But if you think your stitches are nice and even, you can give it a try. The stitching is not hard. It's just it'll challenge you on your skill of reading the crochet patterns. Yeah, and that's where sometimes it can, you have to really follow a written pattern and you have to check off line by line by line so that you get it right. All right, Hannah, that's a good idea. She talked about helping Cynthia, just refreshing the page. So yeah, okay, Brat's mom says they found the pattern. Yeah, they got the pattern already for Abigail Shawl. Hey, Kimberly, thank you for your comment. She's wishing everybody a great weekend. And Digo Crochet talking about the amigurumi question. It depends on what you want to make. I made a baby Yoda and thought it would be hard, but I finished it in about 3 days. Wow, that is so cool. So I guess Digo, I guess you're enjoying The Mandalorian. My kids are enjoying that. I've seen the first season, I saw a couple episodes of the second season. I won't talk about them because I don't want to be giving away any spoilers, but one of them kind of creeped me out. But I have to sit down and maybe watch those with Hannah next time we get together, sweetheart. We'll have to save that from when we get together. Let's see. Yeah, Esther was responding to that question too. She's done several amigurumis and has done a beautiful job. And she says, yes, it can be difficult in the beginning, but once you keep making amigurumi more and more, it becomes much easier. Yeah, that's just like anything. Hold on, there's a big comment there and I missed it. For those of you who are new, yeah, I always get behind. So, wow. Okay, Alma says, getting ready to see the orthopedist. Took a fall and broke an ankle, so I've been crocheting away and watching all your new videos. So grateful for this live chat. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. That must be awful, breaking an ankle. That must be like probably worse than breaking your leg. Alma, I need to add you to my list here. Just add you to my prayer list. All right, I'll add that later. Just wanted to make a note. Mary Hay says, I'm so late. Had chores that couldn't wait. We'll watch replay later. Oh yeah, chores. I need to do some of those. I've got laundry in my dryer that has been sitting there for 3 days. Do you ever do that? I need to get it out. I need to run it, just kind of fluff it and then fold it later. Thanks for the reminder. Probably should vacuum too when we're done. All right, Hannah has another question for me. Beverly Smith has been trying to do corner to corner, but the back bins are driving me crazy, and she'd like to know, what do you suggest for bobbin issues? I'm not sure what the bobbin, I don't know, I'm not sure what that means, but that's a good segue into what I'm going to show you here. This Monday, I've got a new pattern. It's an easy beginner pattern, and it's using the Latte Cakes by Caron. I picked this up at the store. They're not sponsoring me. I just bought this yarn at Walmart. But look at this, guys. Isn't this fun? This is, and I don't know if this will help you out or not, Beverly, but I take you step by step through the corner to corner process. It's not too difficult. And then I use a shell, a shell border at the end, which is optional. You don't even need to do this, but this took just under two cakes of yarn. And oh, this yarn just feels amazing. I've been wearing my shawl. I left it upstairs, but I'm wearing my granny square shawl out of this yarn, just to keep warm in the house. It's just been great. But this is coming out on Monday. It will be on my watch channel as well, as soon as I get it uploaded. And the pattern will be in my Lovecraft store, but if you're a watch viewer, the pattern will be complimentary. So um, this is the Easy Beginners corner to corner baby blanket. So Beverly, maybe, once that comes out on Monday, you can get my take on, how to crochet these. I'll just put this right here. And I've got another baby blanket coming out later this spring using some of that South African yarn that I love, love, love to use. I'm not sure what you mean by the bobbin issues, Beverly, but maybe Hannah misunderstood the question. But let me see if I can find the question down here. Okay. And there's another question. Amy Jo is asking about, what am I wearing? This is the Abigail shawl or scarf. Abigail is the name for that, Amy Jo. Sorry, guys. I know I'm reiterating things. Oh, Emily Horton's in the chat. Hey, Emily, it's good to see you in the chat. Good to talk to you. Was it last night or the night before? I'm losing track of the days. Let's see. And Lynn wants to know, what are you crocheting that's blue on your shelf? And I hope to see what's white behind you next to Hannah's stole. Okay, well, I can show this to you. I feel like I'm giving all the goodies out of the bag. This is coming hopefully this week. It may be 1 to 2 weeks out, but this is Bonnie's Winter Cabled Throw. And get that piece of blue. This has a lot of cables in it. Okay. This is it's kind of hard to show, just like this, but this is one I've been holding back for a while because I wanted to release it this winter. And I'm gonna put it right back here. There we go. So that is coming to the watch channel. That was one of the designs. Yeah, I'm kind of wanting to just kind of keep it out of the, off of the main channel, just because, I've said this before, just because of copycats. I just want to kind of keep these kind of safe for a little bit. But this will be coming to the watch channel. I'm hoping to get it by the end of next week. Keep your fingers crossed. I just have to do a little more work just to make sure that it's absolutely perfect and ready to go for the pattern and everything. The video is all set. But that'll only be on the watch channel. It'll also be in my Lovecraft store, and the video link will be with the pattern there. The pattern, again, for the watch the watch folks is going to be complimentary. I just really want, I know I've been talking a lot about this, but it's something that we're real excited about. And we just want to make an absolute good um, experience, for you all to learn in, and for you all to interact with each other. There is a forum on the site where it's not open to the public. It's only open to the subscribers. And we just, you know how it is when you're working on something and you're really concentrating, whether you're following a dramatic story on television, or you're trying to figure out a pattern and you're working on it and you're following the video, and then boom, you're interrupted with a commercial and it kind of breaks your train of thought and all that. Well, this way, that's not going to happen. There are no commercials. There never are going to be commercials. And I don't have the sides filled with, buy this, buy that, and pop-ups and this and that and the other. You know what I'm talking about. Um, to me, it's just not worth it. I'd rather pay somebody a buck or two and get the pattern instead of having to print out something. You've done this too. Get a simple pattern from somebody, and you have to print out 15 pages with your expensive ink out of your printer because of all the ads and things that are in it. And there's like maybe five rows of a pattern. I'm like, come on, I mean, that's just not our style. I know it. I can do that. And I can make a lot of money doing that, but I don't want to do that. That's just not where I'm headed. Um, it's more about community than it is about the bottom line. But anyway, that is coming soon. I'm really excited about that. I just got to make sure it's as perfect as it can possibly be. And I have to wait also for my editor, one of my other daughters, who is a designer and does a lot of the technical editing for me. I just have to wait till she gets it back to me as well. So waiting on that. That'll be soon. Patsy Wise says, I want a gold crochet hook in heaven. Gold is my favorite color anyway. You and me both, Patsy. That's right. Yeah. And I want my flute made of gold too. I saw one in a store last January in New York City. I didn't go near it, just to let you know. I didn't even want to touch it. I didn't even want to be responsible for that thing in any way. But yeah, I saw a flute. Of course, it's not 100. It can't be 14 karat gold because it would just break. But it was substantial amount of gold in that thing, and it was pretty cool to behold. But yeah, gold crochet hook. Um, those are going to be heavy, just to let you know. Gold is a heavy, precious metal. Let's see. Oop, we're at 107 already. Good grief. Emily says, I don't mind paying extra dollar for my yarn at my yarn store. Yeah, I don't either. She says it saves $8 in shipping. Anyways, yes, it does. We have Elsa Wells in the chat. She says, just joined the chat. Since the pandemic, we are not getting any shipment of crochet products. I do hope it will end soon. Yeah, that is a problem. Supplies, yeah. Last year when I released the Colorful Cables Throw, you guys remember that? As soon as I released it, that's when things hit big time, and shipping just shut down. It was really a pain. I guess it's starting to happen now. Yeah. Elsa Wells. Yeah. I hope that does end soon. Oh, thank you, Linda. She says, love that mixed green. Yeah, I don't know if you're talking about the baby blanket or this other, but yeah, can you tell I like blues and greens? Ah. And Esther says she's never tried any other yarn except acrylic and cotton yarn. Well, Esther, I got to send you something so that you can try some other kind of yarn. When we can get together, once this pandemic settles down, I want you to come to my house, and we will we'll get you set up. Okay, I want you to try some of these other things. And Kathleen wants to know, what's the name of that book? I don't know if you're talking about the yarn book, Kathleen. That's the book we were talking about, learning about fibers, or I don't know if you're talking about the book where the pattern is for the Dual and Delight, but yeah. Brenda Young says she's allergic to wool and alpaca. Can't use any of that fiber. My friend, we have Jacqueline too from Los Angeles. Um, and thank you, Patty, for filling in with that name. And Donna and Lisa wants to know if I prepared a song for us today. No, I did not. Haven't needed one yet. But I will have to get to working on some of those this coming week. Um, yeah, I interviewed a friend of mine. I'm going to be posting the interview in the coming weeks. And she's a designer and she's allergic to the wool and the alpaca. Usually, if people are allergic to wool, it doesn't necessarily mean you're allergic to alpaca, but if you're finding you're allergic to alpaca, it might be because the alpaca was processed in the same mill where wool is processed, where sheep's wool is processed. But um, if you can get alpaca that has been processed separately apart from wool, um, not the wool alpaca blends, but just pure alpaca is very different from sheep's wool, and it's part of the camelid family. um, and so people who are allergic to one are not necessarily allergic to the other because it's a very different animal. But anyway, so yeah, that you may not be allergic. What I'm trying to say, Brenda, is you may not be allergic to alpaca, but because it's been married to the sheep's wool, either in the factory or in the yarn itself, that's probably what you're reacting to, which it can be unfortunate. But if you can, find a breeder that does exclusive alpaca only, and you buy it from them, not been processed, in a big setting somewhere, and you can get a lot of stuff like that at wool festivals. Surprisingly, um, I don't know, that might be something you could try. There's always silk, and bamboo is really nice. And I don't know if you're allergic to rabbits. My kids are, so I can't use Angora, but there is Angora rabbit, um, which is like crocheting with clouds. It's amazing. But anyway, and there's also cashmere coming from goats, and there's also is it Angora goats? Is that where it comes from? Anyway, there are Angora goats and there are Angora rabbits, all kinds of other fibers that you can try. But if you're allergic to sheep, you might be really allergic to rabbits. So I don't know. Um, da, da, da. And Kathleen says she tuned back in after homeschooling. Wow. Good for you, Kathleen. I did that for so many years. It was such a joy at the time, but I am so glad to be done with homeschooling. Um, And Elsa says, yes, it's really heartbreaking. A very limited variety is available at this time. You may be able to check out your local yarn stores, though. Maybe they can, set you up. Kathleen says she loves amigurumi, but it's a tight stitch subject for me. Takes breaks. Yeah, that's the other thing about it. You really have to work tightly on that so that you don't have holes, so that the stuffing shows through. And yeah, yeah, I love the way amigurumi looks. I just don't enjoy the journey, so I just trust that journey to those who do it so much better than me. Um, and Alice says she loves doing animals. I do tight stitches. It can be hard on the hands. Yeah, I got to be careful about that too. My hands are not what they used to be. And Amy Jo says Joann's is having a big yarn sale right now. I wonder what they got. Uh, well, we got a lot of other messages here, but I think, let's see. We have Svetlana says, hello, everyone. I am new to your crocheting and have a question about yarn. How is DK merino wool different from wool? That's a good question. Wool, when you say you're using wool, there are many different types of sheep, just like people who own dogs. Well, what kind of a dog you have? You have a list of all kinds of different dogs in the world, right? Well, the same kind of goes for sheep. There are a lot of different breeds of sheep, and merino wool comes from a particular type of sheep, which would be, I guess, the merino breed, or whatever they would call it. But there are a lot of other different breeds of wool, and depending on where you get the wool, it can be soft as a baby's bottom, or it can be strong and rough enough to scrub pots. So it varies quite a bit. It's basically, it's just hair from an animal. And, just like hair from people, it varies from person to person. This wool varies from breed to breed and can even vary a little bit within the breed. So yeah, that's a big wide open question. Um, so you really, that's where again, where it's really good for you to feel it. The DK stands for double knitting, which is kind of a word to tell you the size or the thickness of the way it has been spun. And a DK is a number 3 weight in the US system. So I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, welcome to the world of yarn. It's complicated. Um, yeah, so I think I am going to, let's see if there's any other questions. Um, okay, I saw something about Cynthia. Oh, Cynthia, I am so sorry. So sorry for your loss. Uh, wow, I cannot imagine what you're walking through, the loss of a son. Oh my goodness. Let me let me write you down. I just want to put you on my prayer list. Okay. Um, so sorry. I just wanted to catch that. So if you guys can please pray for Cynthia and Judy too. Judy, what's going on here? I'm so sorry I can't get to everybody's question. Um, okay. I'm trying to find. Okay, I saw something here. Hold on, hold on. Ah, and Judy says she lost her second daughter in a car accident when she was 20. I know the pain. I will keep her in my prayers. Wow, you guys really know what loss is. I'm afraid I don't just yet. And I'm okay with that, but wow, so sorry to hear that, Judy. Um, I'll have to write you down. I'm going to write that down too. Okay, writing a lot of things down. Sorry for the shaky camera work there. Um, well, let me go down towards the bottom here. It is getting late, but I just love hanging with you guys. Um, I saw a question, somebody from South Africa. Let's see. Okay, Phyllis says, yarn shopping is like going to a candy store when you're a kid. Isn't it though? Almost, it is. That it really is. Almost better. Yes, I agree with that. Hold on a second. Okay, Ricardo, here it is. It says, here in South Africa, I find crochet hooks that aren't of the best quality. With all the crochet I do, my hooks are literally falling apart. I'd love a high quality set from the US. Hmm. Uh, Ricardo, if you want to email me later, bonniebay@me.com, we can discuss this more detail. I can maybe help you. But in the US, there are many different kinds, but they all boil down to two main styles. Inline, which are the kind I like, which means that this is an inline, it stays all the same. And then there are kinds that are tapered. Okay, these are the Susan Bates soft, and these are my absolute favorites, and they're not real expensive. There are much more expensive ones out there, but a lot of them have tapered hooks where the head kind of tapers in a little bit before the hook, and that would be more the Boye style. So it really depends on if you're more of a tapered fan or if you like the inline, because I think what happens as a crocheter is you get used to one or the other, and you get to where you prefer one over the other. I mean, my crochet hooks, I mean, I can't imagine wearing these things out. They're just, pretty durable, made out of aluminum. But yeah, I have a really hard time with tapered hooks. So if you do order any from the US, you may actually want to check with that store. Look up yarn stores in Pretoria, and my friend may have some. I think it's the Yarn Shop or the Yarn Box. That might be the name of the store. But she may have some in stock where you don't have to order. But if you do order some, just know if you're getting the inline or if you're getting the tapered hooks, because you may be getting the kind that you don't prefer if you're going to invest. And check on Amazon. Amazon has these Susan Bate hooks that I use, the Susan Bate Soft. Look at the video description below for a link, um, and see what you can find. Hannah just sent me something here. It says Patty Dangle would like to know, is the cost of the watch channel an annual cost or is it a one-time cost for the life of the subscription? Okay, good question. There are two ways to join. It's right now it's $6.95 a month, and it would just renew each month. If you want to discontinue it, you just discontinue it and you're not charged any further. If you want to do a year subscription, it's cheaper. It's about the cost of paying for 10 months instead of 12 months. So if you get the annual, you do save about $12 to $14 in the yearly cost of it. So if that makes sense, I think it's, yeah. Does that make sense? So we make it easy. It's like I said, it's about the cost of one fast food meal from McDonald's. Like if you like the Big Mac and fries and your drink, it's about the same for the whole month. And again, just the patterns that I'm going to be releasing, that I released this morning, are valued at much more than the monthly cost today. Like if you went, I mean, of course, you may not want to buy all of them, but if you wanted to purchase them from my store, it would cost you, I don't have to look at the prices, but it would cost you definitely more than $6.95 for the 5 patterns, which is about half of the patterns that are in my baby blanket book. So they're available for free, complimentary on the channel. So hopefully that answers the question. All right. Well, I have a lot to do here, so I want to read everybody's comments, but I really have to refrain because I have 2 more things to give away. Okay. Don't post any numbers yet because I'm not going to read them. Hold on a second. I'm not going to read them. I have to wait till I say go. And you don't know the range that I'm going to ask for. I have 2 copies of this book, Super Scarves, and these are really big scarves. I was asked to do these by Leisure Arts a few years ago. And here's a couple other designs. Let me see how many are in here. There are 1, 2, 3. Okay, there are five scarves in here. I don't have video tutorials for any of these because these patterns are owned by Leisure Arts. They are kind of funny. They don't want me to put videos out there, although I've been asking. But they own the rights, so I don't have the video tutorial step by step, but I do have the stitch videos for all the stitches that are used. So if you need to just learn how to do the stitches, I've got you covered on my channel. So I've got 2 of these. I have 2 numbers written down between the numbers of 30 and 60. I'm going to pick 2 different numbers that I have written down. Go. Oh, wow. These numbers are coming in fast. Okay, we have Love to Craft and Kathleen Champ are our winners. The 2, and let me just show you. I had the numbers all written down before I even started the program today. So Love to Craft and Kathleen Champ, you are the winners of the Super Scarves. So if you would send me an email to bonniebay@me.com and I will get them out to you. Let me write this down. And Love to Craft, when you email me, tell me your name on this channel here, because I'm sure it's not going to say Love to Craft. Just so that I know it's the right person. Okay, So congratulations, you guys, on that. And wow, you guys are so good, so kind to each other. So we're all done with the giveaways there. So once this program ends, and if you want to enter, you know, to try for these, I still have 4 of the smaller. And to be honest, I like these just as much, if not more so than those other ones. This is a smaller leaflet, but it has 4 patterns in that. I have 2 of these, and then I have the baby blanket patterns. And these baby blankets are really cute. Again, they're smaller booklets, but you still have the same number of patterns in these, and they fit in your craft bag a lot better than the larger leaflets and books. I mean, I love all shapes and sizes of books, and I own them all. But anyway, so if you want a chance at those, you just have to post. Once I'm done, the live is over, you can come back and post a comment below, and check back on Monday. Check in the chat because I'm going to respond to you in the comment section. So you want to find that, and I'll also post the winners in the video description on Monday sometime. Okay, I'll try to get to that in the morning, but in case I don't get to it early, and since we're on so many different time zones with everybody, just check. And again, international folks outside the US, you are more than welcome to enter. It's just that if you win, I'm probably going to give you the choice of some free patterns from my Lovecraft store instead, just because of the cost of postage, and I think you understand that. All right, I do want to read something to you, as always. And this song has been on my heart for a few weeks. I may have read this to you in the past, but it bears reading again. And it's a song I've clung to this week, and it's really helped me to lift my eyes up above any problems around in the world or whatnot. I'm not oblivious to problems. I know. I mean, we want to be careful to rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep, certainly. But anyway, let me just read this. This is a song. This is from a hymn book. And this was written by the great reformer, Martin Luther, in the year around 1529. And he wrote the music too. Okay. And this is, I guess, loosely based on Psalm 46:1, which says, God is our refuge and strength. Okay, and I'm just going to read all 4 stanzas. This is one of my favorite songs. A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing. Our helper he amid the flood of mortal ills prevailing. For still our ancient foe doth seek to work us woe. His craft and power are great, and armed with cruel hate. On earth is not his equal. Did we in our own strength confide, our striving would be losing. We're not the right man on our side, the man of God's own choosing. Doth ask who that may be? Christ Jesus, it is he. Lord Sabaoth, his name, from age to age the same, and he must win the battle. And though this world with devils filled should threaten to undo us, we will not fear, for God hath willed his truth to triumph through us. The prince of darkness grim, we tremble not for him. His rage we can endure, for lo, his doom is sure. One little word shall fell him. That word above all earthly powers, no thanks to them abideth. The spirit and the gifts are ours through him who with us sideth. Let goods and kindred go. This mortal life also, the body they may kill. God's truth abideth still. His kingdom is forever. Amen. I love, love, love this song. I'm hoping to
add it to my Sapphire Freeway channel at some point. But anyway, as always, guys, thank you so much for your love, for your encouragement, for your support of one another in the chat, and for those of you suffering out there. I wrote down a few that I caught in the group chat. I definitely will just feel privileged to pray for you guys this week, just for his strength and his comfort. Well, take care. Have a wonderful week. God bless. Bye-bye.